Hi guys, and welcome to another video. It's the 2nd of January, New Year's, Christmas, all that stuff is out of the way, and it's back to the reality of shipping orders and obviously working in my pop culture shop on Garstang High Street called Only Cool Stuff. One of the items going out today is this Nintendo Switch Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. I'm feeling a little bit guilty about this, not for selling this, that's a good thing, but this actually came to me in a bundle. A customer came into the shop and sold me their Nintendo Switch and games bundle, which they weren't using anymore, and they had some Pokemon games with it. And this is sold very quickly, and I'm really glad. Good profit, can't grumble, but I've decided to keep the Switch console, which obviously isn't ideal. It's not the new Switch, it's the old grey Joy-Con one, so it's not got the OLED screen or anything. I've never had a Switch and I have always wanted to try it. I've had pretty much every Nintendo console over the years. Switch is the only console that I hadn't actually bought. I've ended up selling them all. I've currently got 0 consoles, but when I got my chance to kind of get my hands on this at a good price, I was like, what do I do? And I've ended up keeping it, and even worse, it also came with Pokemon Sword as well as one of the games, and I've been playing it. I've leveled up some Pokemon. I never thought I'd say that, especially at the age of 42. Plus the thought of having some Mario games and playing some Yoshi on the big screen at home is kind of enticing, and I think I'm just going to keep it. I don't care, I'm going to keep it. Typical me, I realised I didn't have any Jiffy envelopes in which to ship some of the parcels out in, so I need to go and get those. And I also need to grab a few little bits for lunch because Rebecca is going to be meeting me either at 12 or 1 o'clock as she does normally, and she'll be expecting to have something to eat for her lunch, which is not surprising. And plus, obviously, I wouldn't mind having a nice bite to eat either. So I'm going to nip down to Sainsbury's before opening, grab the bits that I need, and we'll then get back to work. I'm just about to ship this item. Definitely a brand worth looking out for is Sonos. Now, this is one of their older units. It's a wireless amp, basically, a music streaming device that you hook up to speakers. You can see it's got Ethernet ports as well. Basically, it's like a multi-room system. Definitely worth looking out for Sonos, especially some of their older stuff, because you can buy it cheap, as I did in this case, and sell it for some pretty good profit. The funny thing with this is I sold this for £60. I took an offer on it for £60 plus shipping, and I didn't get payment immediately. It took a good few days for the buyer to get round to paying for it. And the funny thing is, I was nice and patient. I didn't prompt the buyer in any way, but this isn't actually technically due out till tomorrow. I could wait until tomorrow to ship this, but on New Year's Day I get a message after they'd actually decided to bother to pay me, saying, oh, when are you planning on shipping this out? Because I'm a nice and polite person, I was honest and I said, well, I'm just going to do it tomorrow first thing. Even though I don't need to. It's funny how someone that can be, expect you to be so patient with them when it comes to actually paying you for an item. It's funny how those customers also tend to be the ones that are the most, the most demanding when it comes to their item being sent to them as soon as possible. So now they've paid, they want it as soon as possible. But they ignored the bit where they didn't pay for like 3 days, 4 days after actually buying the item. Just a mini rant. Thought I'd share it with you. You really couldn't make it up. No sooner had I popped out for 5 minutes to drop a parcel off at the post office that needed to be taken to the counter. That is exactly the precise moment that the courier decides to turn up with an item of stock I was expecting. So just what are the chances of that? I've been in the shop all morning, and the 5 minutes I take to nip out is exactly when the courier decides to pop in. Such is life, eh? And here we have a lovely case of NECA Ultimate Muk Man figures. I'm really looking forward to these, so I'll probably be doing like a more in-depth video on these. That is a pretty big friggin' figure. It's actually quite a long box. Is the figure that big? He's not that big, but it's the accessories he comes with, and he comes with a boatload of them, so that looks amazing. I've finally gotten the Muk Man figure out on display on the shop, and I've got him displayed with his blaster pointing upwards. See, I've just put the alternate mouth on the barrel of goo that you get with him, and there's his alternate hands. and there's his buddy Joe Eyeball, who's just chilling with him, hanging outside of the trash can that's hooked onto Muk Man's back. He really is an incredibly cool action figure. I think even if you're not into Ninja Turtles and you just like action figures that have got a bit of personality about them, a bit of class about them, you know, something that pops on the shelf, you really can't go wrong with this, and I think it's an absolute steal at 20 quid. I was just in the process of testing this home cinema system from Sony. It's a 3D Blu-ray system which can also play Super Audio CD, which makes it quite a good pickup. And one of the annoying things about having a short attention span is even really mediocre programs like Supernatural can keep your attention, and you can end up watching a few episodes of something that you were just using to test this system with. So it does work, which is great. I should be expecting about £60 back on the main unit, and then I'm going to sell the rear speakers, the center speaker, the subwoofer all separately, and they should also bring back decent amounts of profit. So I'm glad that this all works. The shop is now closed, and the plan for the rest of the evening is to photograph those bits of stereo that I just showed you, the home cinema system, and then once that's done, just get this video edited and then go and pick up Rebecca from her job. It's been a really quiet day in the shop, but it's to be expected nowadays. Now obviously the Christmas rush is over, it's not going to be busy in the shop, and we're going to have some very quiet days going forward, so I may look at adjusting my hours again, but I'll think about that another time. Anyway guys, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.